Hello everybody! Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Camille and I read and review clean and Christian fiction. And today we are going to be doing the mid-year freakout tag. Is that what it's called? I think that's what it's called. I haven't been tagged in this video, but I've seen so many of the people that I follow here on BookTube doing it, and I just thought it would be super fun to do and just a fun way to kind of wrap up the first half of 2026. I can't believe I'm saying that. That's crazy that when I'm filming this, I'm a little behind. July is literally almost over. I can't believe that. So yeah, that's crazy. These questions that I'm going to be answering today, I pulled from Lindsay from BFCG's, her mid-year freakout tag that she just did. I pulled those questions from her description, so I will mention her video, link it down in the description box, and I will also put these questions in the description box for you guys if you are a booktuber, if you want to do a video, or if you want to just answer the questions in the comments. I will leave them down there in the description box. We have, how many? There's 13 questions in this tag. I kind of want to make this just a little short, fun little video, so we're going to jump in. Most of these books I have talked about in depth in some of my other videos, so I will try to link the ones that are mentioned, and there's only a couple that aren't mentioned in videos yet because I read them this month. Without further ado, let's jump into the video. The first question is, what is the best book you've read so far in 2026? So if you've been following my channel for a while, you might already know the answer. I picked 2 books for this answer because I couldn't pick just one, and that is Awakened by Rosanna M. White and The Not So Neutral Zone by Susan and Sarah May Warren. These books are just about as opposite as you can get when it comes to favorites, but I read them both for the first time this year, and they're both just so good. And I've already reread both of them twice. I'm on my 3rd re-listen of this one with my husband, because we got the audiobook, and sometimes we listen to romance books when we are on doing road trips, and we kind of go through. And before this, we've only ever listened to Anna Conwell, but I knew when I saw the audiobook of this one that we just had to listen to it. And so far, this has been his favorite book we've listened to together so far, so these 2 are really good. I'm not going to talk too much about them. I have talked about them in many, many other videos. So that is my answer to the first question. I think I'm going to try to stack the books right here. And question number 2 is, what is the best sequel you've read so far in 2026? And I also have 2 answers for this one. The first one is Ashfall by Dalton and Emily Beckett, and I haven't talked about this one on the channel yet, except for I mentioned it in my reading vlog a little bit, and I will be talking to you guys about that a little bit later in this video, so I'm just going to put that there for now. And then the other book was Steinbeck by Susan May Warren. This is the 5th book in the Minnesota Kingston series, and it's just so good. It's my favorite out of the whole series. It was just so well done. I gave it 5 stars. Most of these books that we're going to be talking about are 5 stars. And I just loved it so much. I really recommend this series for anybody who is a little unsure about jumping into romantic suspense. It's very good. So I think I'll talk about that one a little bit later too. Question number 3. What is a new release you haven't read yet but want to? So these are all books that came out in 2026 so far that I haven't read, but that I really, really want to read. Okay, so the first book is Into a Golden Era by Gabrielle Meyer. This is book number 7 in the Timeless series. I think that speaks for itself. I've read the whole rest of the Timeless series. I just haven't read this one yet. I just haven't been in the right mood for it, but I really want to read it soon. Where am I going to stack this? I'll put it right here. I've got like several different stacks going on. And then the next book is Daughter of the Rebellion by Jamie Ogle. This is a standalone. She is a female gladiator. I think she's called a gladiatrix. And I've started this book. I'm like this far into it, but I haven't picked it up in a long time because I'm still trying to finish up the third book in the Mark of the Lion trilogy, and I feel like I can only read one gladiator book at a time. So that's why this one's on hold, because the other one's a library book, so it gets first priority. Shortbread in the Highlands by Robin Jones Gunn. I've loved the first two books in this series. This one's set in Scotland. I can't wait to read it. I just want to make sure that I have enough time to enjoy it, which is why I haven't picked it up yet. And then the last book that I want to read soon is The Spykeeper of Marseille by Rosanna M. White. This is her newest historical fiction release. Rosanna M. White is one of my favorite authors of all time, and I just cannot wait to dive into this one when I have the time. Question number 5 is your biggest disappointment. So it's not a question. It says biggest disappointment. So what is your biggest disappointment that you've read so far this year? I have 2. One I finished. Actually, I have 3. One I finished, one I DNF'd, and 2 of them I DNF'd. So the first one probably is going to be no surprise to you. That is Seeking Persephone by Sarah M. Eden. I talked about this book in a couple videos ago, and just how I felt like it didn't really live up to the hype, and I just didn't understand why it was so popular. That's all I really have to say. If you want to see my thoughts, I will put the video right here. And the next disappointment that I had, and I don't think I've talked about this one much on here before, was The Rules of Falling for You by Molly Rushmeyer. I DNF'd this book, and I was really sad about it because it was so cute, but I was reading it and I could just, I was listening to the audiobook and I was enjoying it because the main girl, she has type 1 diabetes. I loved that representation in there as someone who also has type 1 diabetes. I was really enjoying that element. It was fun, but the romance, I know there's a third act breakup in this book, and I was not even halfway through the book, and I could already see the conflict, that the breakup was gonna happen. I could see it. I was coming from a mile away, and I was just like, no, I can't do this. It was gonna make me so upset. And I talked to a few people on Instagram, and they were like, yeah, it was really disappointing and kind of upsetting, and it made me want to throw the book across the room. I think one of my friends might have thrown the book across the room, and I was just like, you know what, no, I don't really want to deal with that. So I did DNF that, and that was really sad because the cover's really cute and I really liked the premise. I just realized that I totally messed up the order of these questions, but it's fine. The last disappointment I had this year was On Wings of Crowns and Chaos by Brittany Wang, and I'm actually super sad about this book. I don't know if I will do a video about this in the future, but the long and short of it was there was some things with the magic that I did not agree with, and they were talking about their inner sight and using inner sight in their magic. And I did end up searching the Kindle copy that I had, trying to find out if it was going to be through the whole book, and it seemed like it was a pretty prominent part of it, and I just don't want it to be part of that at all. And so it was really disappointing because I know the author is a Christian, and I loved the first one, and I really wanted to know what happened to my favorite characters because I absolutely love the characters, and I so want to know what happens, but I just could not in good conscience continue to read that book knowing that it had that kind of mystical inner sight stuff going on. It just felt really wrong and weird, and I just was really uncomfortable, so I decided to DNF it. Okay, The question that I skipped, going back for a second, your most anticipated releases for the second half of the year. Okay, I've got a couple. I'm not going to read you all the synopses because that would take literally forever, and this is supposed to be a quick video, so if you guys want to look them up, you can. Maybe I will link their Amazon pages in the descriptions so you can go read them. Okay, I also have release dates for you guys, so I'll put them on the screen. Okay, the first one is Winter's Dawn by Morgan L. Bussey. This is book 3 in the Nordic Wars trilogy, and it is coming out on August 11th, and I am super excited for it. The next one is Movers and Fakers by Anna Conwell. This is coming out August 13th, and I am really looking forward to this one because the main girl is a ballerina, and I am just like, I have very high hopes for this book. Plus, she's also said that it's her favorite book that she's written so far, which makes me really excited because I love all of her books. Song of the Con by J.J. Fisher. This is book 3 in the Painted Winds series. The cover literally just released today, and it is beautiful. It's my favorite of all of them so far. It's so stunning. I can't wait to read it. And it comes out September 15th. I don't know if I said that already. So I'm really excited for that. And then we have one of my most anticipated Christian fiction book releases, Throne of the Heavens by Connell & Cassette. Comes out on October 6th. And this is the end of the Kingsman series. And if you know, you know, it is about Shalem. So I am very, very, I have been looking forward to this book forever since this first book in the series came out. I'm so excited. I can't wait. Then we have Made Like the Moon by Carrie Cotton. This comes out on October 6th as well. I am really excited for this one, not only because it's Carrie Cotton, not only that, but because the cover is so pretty. And I'm going to see if I can find the character art, but if I find it, I'll put it also right here with the cover. It is so pretty. It is a Christian mafia romance, which I've never read before, but I'm like, it's Carrie Cotton. If I'm going to read my first Christian mafia romance, it's going to be from Carrie Cotton, you guys. So I'm super excited for that one. The next one is one of my most highly anticipated Christian fiction releases of this year is The Palace Spy by Tessa Afshar. This book is coming out on November 17th, and I cannot wait. I love Tessa Afshar. I have loved every book in this Queen Esther's Court series, and I can't wait to read this one. Tears of the Ransom Tree by Andrea Costello. This is a pretty recent edition because I just recently read The Sunbird's Last Lament. This is the book that comes right after that. It comes out on November 20th is what I have written down. If you watch my reading vlog, you know that I loved The Sunbird's Last Lament, and I absolutely need to know what's going to happen to Evander and Valina. And I'm pretty sure it's going to break my heart, but it's fine. It's fine, right? It's fine. Is Sun Fading, A Songbird Broken by Alyssa J. Zavalinos. I don't have a final cover. All I have is this temporary cover, but it's so pretty. I can't imagine how beautiful the cover is going to be. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I have an ARC on my Kindle. I'm not sure when this is coming out. I think it might be sometime in November, but I don't think she's finalized that yet, so I don't know for sure. But I do know that the cover is going to be stunning. The inside is going to be stunning. The whole story is going to be amazing, and I cannot wait. The last book on this list, also one of my most anticipated releases, is Amazed by Rosanna M. White. This is book 3 in the Awakened series and is coming out sometime in December. And I could not be more excited. I can't wait to read this next installment of the series, and I hope this series never ends. Editing Camille here to tell you guys about one more book that is on my anticipated releases that I somehow forgot about. It is Eventide by A.M. Dalen. I do not know how I forgot about this book, you guys. Amazon says this book is coming out on September 22nd, and I am so excited. I can't wait. I have an ARC on my Kindle. I'm really looking forward to it. And yeah, I just know this one is probably going to make me cry but it's gonna be good, and we love it. A.M. Dalen, we love A.M. Dalen. Even though she makes us cry, we still love her. So, yeah, back to the video. My next question, we're back in the right order now, is the biggest surprise. So, what book was the biggest surprise? And I would say that the first book that was my biggest surprise this year was The Splendor of Fire by Ashley Worrell. I just talked about this in my June, yes, I don't know what month it is, June wrap up, and I will link that up here if you guys want to go see all my thoughts. But basically, for like the first half of the book, I was like, these characters are really irritating and like all these things. And then the second half of the book, it was like, oh my goodness, this is so good. Just wow with everything. So if you want all my thoughts, I will put the video up here. And also I will try to link all my Goodreads reviews for these books that I have read in the description box. And then the second book that was the biggest surprise for me was A Voice in the Wind by Francine Rivers. I went into this book fully expecting to be traumatized and to be just kind of like, but I actually loved it so much. And while it was just really dark and heavy, it was also just so good and so well written. And it is a book that I do understand the hype, why it's so popular. I really do. Those were my two biggest surprises. The next question is favorite new author. Okay. My favorite new author of this year is Susan May Warren. I have read the Minnesota Kingston series. I have read the 2 books that she's written with her daughter, and I need to read like all the rest of her books like immediately. Like, it is a need at this point. Like, I absolutely love her writing. Like, it's so good. And I love the way that she does her characters and the way that they think and the way that they are on the page and just everything, and the relationships, especially the Kingston family, all the family relationships. It was just so much fun to read, and I can't wait to read more of her books. Also, a fun thing with her books is there's always characters mentioned from her previous series, but not in a way that you feel like, oh, I should have read their books first, but it's like, oh, I need to go find this character's book because I want to know more about that character. So it's just super fun. The next question is your newest fictional crush. I don't do that. I think that's weird, especially as a married woman, to be like, oh, so-and-so is my book boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, that kind of makes me uncomfortable, especially being married. It feels very disrespectful to my own husband. And also, I am just kind of going to echo what Lindsay from BFCG said on her video. I like the couples together, and I would not even want to try to put myself in the female main character's place because I always like the couples together. So that's my take on that. Your newest favorite characters is question number 9, and I have 3 sets. So the first one is Sidon and Arden from Awakened, followed closely by Valkyria and Nicanor from Aflame, but Sidon and Arden, so I just love them so much. And then the second book couples that I absolutely loved was Steinbeck and Phoenix in Steinbeck, and honestly throughout the whole Kingston series, because their story arches over the entire 5-book series and it culminates in this book, and it's so good, and I just loved watching their relationship grow so much. It was so good. And then also we have Brody and Chloe from the Not So Neutral Zone. This book is forever gonna be like the standard I hold all Christian romance to now. Like, it just is. I'm sorry. That's probably not fair, because this is literally the best Christian romance book I have ever read. Like, literally the best ever. It's so good. And that's all I have to say. So if you haven't read it yet, you definitely should. The next book I don't own. It's literally on its way to me right now, and I'm so sad I can't hold it up for this video. But the next question number 10, a book that made you cry. We're going to talk about Ashfall a little bit by Dalton and Emily Beckett. It's Beckett. Sorry, I don't know why I said it like that. That was weird. So usually when I say, oh, this book made me cry, it's like there's a couple tears. Like there's a couple tears at the end. Like they're happy tears or maybe they are sad tears, but like there's a couple tears. Now, I have to tell you, I was reading Ashfall and something happens, and I cannot tell you what it is because it's like a massive spoiler, but it's like at the 70% mark of the book. And look, okay, I knew something was going to happen. They've been marketing this book as like it's going to break your heart and it's going to like rip your heart to shreds. And I'm like, okay, well, I have read lots of books that say that, and like I've cried a little bit or like been sad, but like it's been okay. It was not okay. It was not okay. This was not happy tears that I was crying. And I just want to tell you guys that I have not legitimately sobbed while I was reading a book since I was 15 and I read The Fellowship of the Ring. Okay, I'm going to spoil The Fellowship of the Ring. If you haven't read it, I'm sorry. When Boromir dies at the end of the book, y'all. When I tell you, 15-year-old Camille laying on her bedroom floor, just holding the book over her heart and just sobbing because I actually loved Boromir so much. That's probably pretty unpopular, but I loved him. He was a great character. And when he died and like everything, I was sobbing. And I was literally like, there's no way this happened. I even like, you know, when you open the book up and you're just like, this can't be. When I open this book back up, that better not have just happened. That's how I felt with The Fellowship of the Ring. And that's how I felt with Ashfall. I was sitting in the living room reading, and my husband, he was doing something in the kitchen, and I just started sobbing. And I was like, I cried for like 15 minutes while I was reading. I had to stop reading and like get a hold of myself. And then I went back to reading, and then something else happened and I started sobbing again. Like it was a disaster. It was so sad. So I will be talking more about Ashfall in my July wrap up, but suffice to say, that book has earned its place on the list of books that have made me sob. There's only 2, but that's one of them. Switching gears completely from that question. Question number 11 is a book that made you happy. And the book that has made me the most happiest recently has been A Brood Awakening by Pepper Basham. I haven't gotten to talk about this one yet either, I don't think. Did I? No, I don't remember. I just loved this one. Clearly, if you can't tell by my tabs, it's just so cute. And this is honestly my new favorite Pepper Basham book. It's just so good, so well done. The characters, the humor, the romance, the banter, all of it. This book is it just made me happy. It's literally like sitting down with a warm cup of coffee, curling up with your favorite blanket, and like watching your favorite TV show. Like that's what it feels like. And it's just so cute, and I love it so much. Okay, settle down. Ashfall got me all worked up. Question number 12 is the most beautiful you've bought so far this year or received. And I have 4. Okay, so the first one is, you probably saw this coming, A Bride of Fallen Stars by Victoria McCombs. I mean, look at this cover. Just look at it. It's so pretty. Also, we have some of the most pretty interior, and there's also art, and yes, it's just so, like, it's so pretty. That's all I'm going to show you. But this is one of the prettiest books I own, one of the prettiest books I've bought this year. It's so pretty, and I love it so much. And then the next book is Liar in the Hollow Court by Bethany Atazadeh. This is also one of my favorites of the year, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. This is a Kickstarter special edition cover, and it is just the prettiest cover. I love books with characters on the cover, and I just think this book is just the prettiest thing. And we also have a full color map. We have several full color, this one's my favorite, full color illustrations. This is like the friend group in the book. And it's just so pretty. And I display this cover. I love looking at it every day. It's so pretty. The next book on the list, this is one that I've received, is The Sunbird's Last Lament by Andrea Costello. My husband bought me this book and The Wild Elegy because he's sweet. He doesn't buy me books very often because I buy books for myself a lot, but he did hear me talking about how much I love these. Well, he listened to me talk about how much I love these, and he bought them for me. And I just thought that was so sweet of him. But I love this cover. I just can't get over how pretty it is. Like, I just love the colors and the flowers and the, yeah, I don't know. It's just so gorgeous. There's all my tabs. And the story inside is stunning and beautiful too. And then the last beautiful cover that I have is the Not So Neutral Zone. I love this cover. See, character art on the cover, I'm telling you, that's where it's at. This cover is so cute. I just love it so much, and it's so pretty. And look at all my tabs. It's just so pretty. This is also one of the prettiest books I own. I just love it so much. It's so pretty. The last question is, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? And the short answer to that question is a lot. I need to read a lot of books by the end of the year. I want to read a lot of books by the end of the year. Pretty much all of my anticipated releases that I told you guys about, all of the books that have already come out this year that I just told you guys about, so many other books that have caught my attention. But what I wrote down for this question, because I'm trying to be a good kid, is all the books on my 26 in 2026 list, which I have not been doing a very good job of keeping up with that. And I'm not going to list all the books here. I am pretty sure I made a video. I did. Yes. So I will put that up here so you guys can go watch it if you want to know which books. I will be really quick and tell you which ones I have read off of that list. That way, if you want to go watch the video, you can watch the video and you can be like judging me and be like, oh my gosh, she still needs to read like more than half these books. I know, okay? I know, I'm aware. Thank you. No. Okay, so I literally have read 4 books off of this list. Oh dear. Okay, so the books that I have read off of my 26 and 2026 list is A Menagerie of Dragons. That book should have been on my disappointments list as well. Oh well. Wishing Stars, The Agape Bearer, Wishing Stars, The Songbird, and As Sure as the Sea. And I literally need to read all the rest of them. So I'm going to try to make those books a priority these last 6 months of the year because I have been doing a horrible job of prioritizing them. I don't really have anything else. I don't think that's all the questions. This is my answers to all the questions. If you guys want to answer any of these questions in the comments, feel free to. I would love to read them and kind of get some of your guys' answers to these questions too. I think that would be so much fun. This was a fun video to film, just a fun little short video. I know I haven't been doing a lot of short videos and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I should do more, but I just like to talk, so I'm sorry. I'll work on it. I hope you guys enjoyed my mid-year freak out tag. I guess the only freaking out part of this video is realizing how many books on my 26 and 2026 list that I haven't read. Like 22, because I've only read 4, so like 22 books. That's great. So fun. I love that for me. Okay. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and leave a comment if you read any of these books, if you want to read any of these books, if any of these books caught your attention, all these things. I do have a question. I want to know, because I love pretty book covers. So if you want to answer this question in the comments, let me know what the prettiest book you've bought this year is, because I love pretty book covers. I buy books based on the cover all the time, so I love pretty book covers. If you want to follow me over on Instagram, I am the Cozy Peddler on Instagram, where I post book reviews, cover reveals, bookish stuff, all the things. And I'm also on Instagram as C.A. Mose Writes. It is my Instagram writing account where I talk about the book that I'm currently writing. And you can also follow me on Substack. It is C.A. Mosman Writes, where I do writing updates and also bookish content, although I haven't posted on there recently. I keep saying I need to do a post. I do need to do a post. It's been probably almost 2 months. So I am on there though. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm under 35 minutes, so good news for me. And I hope you have an absolutely amazing rest of your day. Bye guys.